Prep Baseball Report.
Welcome back into Sports Nightly. I am joined once again by the Director of Scouting for Prep Baseball Ohio, 𝗦𝗽cie𝗿𝘆. Jordan, it is great to see you again. We've got plenty to talk about both at the high school and at the collegiate level this week.
Absolutely exciting week. Had a big time MAC series and then starting to get in that playoff baseball. So it's exciting around there for sure.
We'll touch on the playoff baseball in just a second, but we're going to start with that big MAC series that you mentioned we saw earlier tonight. Toledo and Bowling Green wrapping up a 5-game set, the last of those games coming at Fifth Third Field. I know that's an exciting experience for collegiate players. This was an even series across the board. Really no surprise, though, and there have been plenty of guys from the pipeline of Ohio into both of these schools. Who's really impressed you at the collegiate level this year?
I mean, we can talk about right in the backyard. I mean, Toledo, we'll start out with 𝗦𝗽cie𝗿𝘆. He's a guy we didn't have a ton on in high school, but we got to see him toward the latter part of his senior year, and you're like, wow, that guy can play. Ended up being a top 40 prospect for us, but I'm not sure anyone saw what he saw coming, what he's doing as a true freshman this year. I would be shocked at all if he gets freshman All-American votes. He's leading Toledo in hitting. He's hitting .346, has several bombs. In the game one of that series, he had 2 hits. And then another guy from the area out of Archibald High School is Jaron Williams. He went to a junior college out of high school and then just really blew up at Lincoln Trail. He was in our MLB draft league. He was a top 100 overall JUCO prospect in the country. So he got the good guys at Lincoln Trail do a heck of a job. And he's another guy that's having a big year. I think he's second on Toledo in hitting. And then another freshman for BG to look out for, a guy named Nathan Archer. I mean, this is one that we kind of saw coming. He was a top 25 guy in the state, but as a true freshman, he's an everyday guy for Bowling Green State, has like 7 home runs, hitting well above 300. So he's having a solid year. And then a guy that I'm really happy for is Andrew 𝗦𝗽𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗆. He threw a heck of a game in game 3, although it was a losing effort. He was a guy that we've kind of got to see grow up over the past few years. He graduated in 2017, so he's a veteran in college, but he was a top 15 guy in the state for us. Started his career off in Nebraska, came back home for personal reasons, has a heck of a career for Bowling Green, and then he threw a great game, a complete game on 100 pitches. Didn't get the win, but it's always fun to see that guy compete.
You mentioned in the postseason in Ohio, anything could happen. That also apparently applies to before the postseason starts. Ottawa Hills making an unusual decision heading into postseason play this year.
I think the biggest shocker of the playoff draw in general was what Ottawa Hills decided to do. They got the 1 seed. They decided to play the playing game and take it on the road. So interesting strategy for them, but I'm not going to bet against them all year. All they've done is win. So they know more than I do of what's better for their team, but that was definitely surprising.
Well, we know they are not sneaky good anymore, but maybe with some sneaky strategy headed into the postseason. Of course, we will have you covered throughout the postseason right here on Sports Nightly.